Hello, 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 and welcome to another one line of code. I was making sure that I actually unmuted. Hi. So Dukesoft, during our conversation pre-stream, is asking me, or is stating someone stole my internet. I think it just ran away for a while. I think it was like, I'm kind of tired. I need a break. And then it ran away. Anyway, but it's back now. It came back at around 7:30, so the internet or the power exploded or turned off or whatever it did at like 3:14 p.m. and then didn't come back until about 6:30, maybe 6 o'clock, something like that. And then the internet didn't come back until 7:30 ish, or maybe a little earlier. I don't know. I don't remember time, but doesn't matter. We're back. We're here. We're still able to stream. So hi. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and all of you are looking amazing. You're looking wonderful. Hope you're having as wonderful a day as you look, especially you. Yep. Anyway, welcome back to the stream. So, our stream is a .NET development stream for anyone that is new here. Doubtful. But if you're watching in the future and you haven't seen this before, this is most of the way through our stream project, which is the financial management tracking application. You can see it on GitHub. Oh, you know what? I actually need to sign into that too. I decided to go ahead and create a profile for, I'm new here. Hi, I'm new here. I decided to create a new profile, Chrome profile, to make it cleaner, easier, something. Can I log in on this one? Where is this one? I needs password 14, 15, 16. GitHubs. Get this one. You, pasta. Happy something else. Okay, this is our GitHub. If there's a profile, does that mean there's a newbie file? Probably. I think profile though is usually called late file or 1337 file. Hello, Frosty Robot. Excuse me. How's it going? But anyway, this is where our project is located in GitHub. It is a public repo. The current branch that we're working in is this calculator branch. I don't remember what's going on with this magic string one or why it's still a branch, but it's there. Wow, I have a lot of branches that should probably get cleaned up, but we're currently on this branch. We're most of the way done with it. We are now fixing an issue that we found with subtracting decimals from other numbers when the number goes negative. So this should be negative 4.674, but instead we're getting negative 5.674 for whatever reason, even though it's supposedly doing the calculation correctly. So we're going to debug that. We're going to figure out why that is not working. Figure out why our calculator doesn't calculator. And then the other issue that I'd like to figure out today is after we push the equal sign, the next time that we push a number, I would like for this to clear out instead of just keep appending to the end. So the behavior should be that as soon as we push the enter sign, this becomes not dirty. And then the next button that we push would move this up here. And then, actually, no, it wouldn't. It would just clear. It would do a regular old clear. Because if you are submitting and then you're starting to push something else, you are not doing an operation based off of this last value. Ergo, it should just clear. So we'll just do a clear all if the last operation was submit and you're pushing a new number. And this is dirty. Is not dirty. Sorry. Anyway, one thing at a time. That's our plan for today. Hope you all are able to enjoy this. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. No, that's terrible. Don't do stuff like that. Anyway, feel free to let me know if you have anything that you feel like sharing in chat while you are here. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff done with this calculator. It's draggable. We can move it around the screen wherever we want, including on top of the scroll bar. That's fun. Dukasoft has a something. What do you have, Dukasoft? A dad joke. He did his dad jokes. So the first dad joke that he posted was, so I heard this pun about cows, and it's kind of offensive, so I won't say it. I don't want there to be any beef between us. And his second one is, I asked a Frenchman if he played video games. He said, oui. Not we. Oui. While nodding, I'm assuming. And it's from the I Can Has Dad Joke API.com, but he set it up on his bot, which is awesome. Having your bot call out to an API. And now we have a way to have dad jokes on our stream too, because Dukabot is amazing. And he's so kind to bring Dukabot in here. Oh, I'm trying to drink my water with the lid still on. Frosty Robot has a joke too. Guy goes to the doctor with the steering wheel stuck to his groin. Doctor says, "Is that not sore?" And the guy says, "No, but it's driving me nuts." And isn't it a pirate? With a ship wheel? Otherwise, the me nuts. Gonna have to add some context, man. Speaking of pirates, we have a developer of a piratey game called Rise of Piracy. He's lurking somewhere in chat. His name is Irish John Games. So shout out to him. Irish John Games. Plural. If you aren't already following him, there's a follow button up there. Makes it easy to do so. He's a Unity developer. You can see him developing Rise of Piracy on his channel, usually at, I'm going to say it in my time because it's really hard for me to do time conversions, 1 p.m. UTC -6 currently, which is in about 2.5 hours on Monday through Saturday. And then, of course, as Dukasoft posted, you can see his game on Steam. Let's actually go over and take a quick gander. This is Rise of Piracy on Steam. He's always telling us, you don't even have to sign in the browser. No one has ever signed in the browser. I'm not signed in the browser, but you usually are signed in on your Steam client. So there's an easy button here that says open in Steam. You can go to the page. When you go to the page, you'll have this wishlist button. Click that if it's not already clicked. And that way you can send some support his way. Make the game more visible. It'll be coming soon, of course. But anyway, great friend of the stream. We're a friend of his stream. Yeah, it looks awesome. It plays a lot like Mountain Blade. I'm kidding. Sorry. I was joking about Mountain Blade. So it's 1900 UTC, 19 o'clock. And what is that in European Standard Time? In EST. Isn't EST like UTC -1 or something? UTC +1? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Amazing looking game. Check out his stream. It's a lot more fun there. He does amazing work. And it's so cool to watch him just fly around in Unity, add stuff, do some scripting. UTC +2 currently. Ours will be changing soon. Is it called daylight savings? It's the daylight savings, November 5th. November 5th is when we'll be changing over. So I guess I'll tell you now, 1 month ahead of time, that in 1 month, we will be falling backwards, which means the stream will seem to be an hour later for some of you who don't observe daylight savings. It is UTC +1 currently. Okay. And then I believe in Europe or European countries that do daylight savings, it happens a week after. A week before. Last Sunday of October. I did it again. You were right the first time. It's UTC +2. You forgot you were on UTC +1 British Standard Time. Is that what B stands for? British Summertime. That's a much better way to put it. I mean, like, it lasts through spring through summer, end of summer, fall-ish, which is still easier to remember than which one of them is standard and which one of them is daylight time. Because I still don't know. We just looked it up and it looked like daylight time is what daylight savings time is what we're currently in. So I would be in MDT right now. Can we just get rid of it already? They were talking about it last year. Or they talk about it a lot of years, but I think they were talking about it even more last year. And they were going to do it. Yeah, Frosty Robot heard the same. Knows the same. Hears the same. It's like, it's kind of obsolete. It's arcane practice that we don't need anymore in our current just the way that we work. There's a paradigm shift in the way that we work. Okay, let's do some debugging. I would like to inspect, the current calculated value that we are about to subtract when we push the enter button, to find out why we're going negative. Yeah, let's put a breakpoint here. So we're going to do something I don't do very often, and that is to run the app with the debugger attached, and we may as well do it as a WPF app, just for the heck of it, because we can. Going forward is easy. It's just a blank field row column. But going back means you have to have an extra way of displaying extra columns. Oh, it's a pain in the arse if you're writing an app that needs to display time series data. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. That does not sound fun. And thank you for trying to be courteous and censoring yourself. Calc said, negative. The pattern is full. So let's do 0.23 minus 5 equals, and our current value should be 0.23. So what is our current calculated value? 0.23. Our value to use is 5. 0.23 minus 5 should be 4.77, right? First we do some print. Here we go. 4.77. So what happens to our calculated value that makes it display as 5.77? Okay, it's probably in the setter for this. Speaking of, oh my gosh, I just watched the C# 12 video from Mads Torgerson, and I am so looking forward to the changes that are going to happen to properties. If they actually go through, he's like, just make sure you know all of these are hypothetical. Some of them might not show up. We can squish you. That's why everything was all in the way. But one of the things that they're thinking of doing is making it so that you can have auto properties where you can still specify a body and have access to the backing variable without needing to declare your own backing variable. And that's going to be so cool. So what I mean is, at the moment your show changed gets a backing variable that's something like underscore show changed usually, but they're not going to tell us what it is, which is fine. I don't need to know what it is because they may change it to something else in the future, but regardless of what they change it to in the future, it will always work. So they're thinking one of the approaches is to use a keyword like field, the same way that you have the keyword value in a setter. But this way, you can specify only the set part. So for me, that's really all that matters. Or one of them matters, but I have a lot of situations where I want my set to do something special, and my get just gets the field. So I don't need a full property. I also don't, like, all of my private fields end up being the same backing field name. So anyway, that's a thing. So what we're doing here, oh no, I accidentally clicked on the go to here. This is what's happening. I can already see it here. We are yeah, okay, this is weird. We are finding the lower level of value. So if this is 4.9999999, we should get back 4. But instead, what I think is happening is this is rounding to the nearest whole number and then casting 2 along. So we're not going to be able to see that this time around because I clicked in the wrong place. There. 0.5 minus, oh my gosh, 5. Okay, so the value that we have is negative 4.5, which is the correct value, but the whole number part is going to give us 5 for some reason. So if we do a quick watch on this, yep, there it is. Floor of a negative number goes more negative. I can't use floor. I can't use floor. It's doing floor correctly. My brain. I was just use wall instead. All right, let's see if that one works. Wall. Is there not an away from towards? You know, let's find out. Yeah, because we would want something like towards 0. No, that'd be awesome though. So I'm gonna do this the easy way because I don't want to think too hard about it. We're gonna do a long.parse. And we're gonna do value to string, split on decimal first. I'm curious to know what's going to happen when we have a 0 point something. Math.round, I was thinking about using that. Or math.round has a towards. Is that what you're telling me? Math.round value, midpoint rounding towards 0. Is it just 2, 0? I mean, I think it is, because what I'm wanting is for to get the whole number part of the decimal only, regardless of if it's 4.9999 or negative 4.9999. I would want the negative 4 part, or positive 4. And this is currently a decimal, right? Which we'll want to cast as a long. Okay, so let's find out what this gives us. Negative 4. Beautiful. I think you gave us the answer. Thank you so much, Frosty. Let's give it a shot. All right, let's start with 0.5 minus 5, since that's what we've been playing with. And our display shows negative 4.5. The other case, which is 5 minus 0.5, or 5 minus 5, 5 minus 0.5. Whoa, what's going on there? My decimal is not doing what it should. I am not setting it as dirty if I push the decimal point. That's what that is. Okay, we'll fix that. But anyway, this should be regular 4.5. Good. Regular 4.5. Positive 4.5. And now let's do the case that I was considering, which is 0.23 minus 0.23 minus 1. 0.77 works in every case. Awesome. Yes. We're taking it. So fixed rounding issue when subtracting or something. Right? That's what we did. Fixed rounding issue for displayed. No. Okay. So we just saw another bug, which is that when we try to only start with a decimal and then put in a number, the value is not keeping the decimal. So actually, let's write a test for that so that we can make sure that this is covered if we make changes in the future as well. Where is my decimal testing? I don't have any tests for decimals. Oh, wait, never mind. Here it is. So 1.05. We're going to turn this into a theory with multiple cases. Copy you. Paste you. You. Paste you. Beautiful. Okay. Except that I still wanted to keep this because I'm lazy. Copy. Oops. Z. You. You. And then your blink. Okay, so 1.05. Then what happens when we push 0.12? This is what we should get. Save. Okay, let's run these testises. So my guess is we're still going to have a failed test on the subtraction and the addition. Why is this working? Oh. Holy cow. Did you just run like super fast or something? No. If I was putting that in production, I'd give it a few tests. Just a couple. My bad. Wait. That was definitely not expected. What this is telling me is if we initially run the app, yeah, it's got to be after we push an operator. Right, and the reason why is because when we first open the calculator, the input is marked as dirty, no matter what. That way you can use the addition, subtraction, etc. and have it be from 0. So if I push decimal point 5, then yeah, it's going to act like I push 0.5, whatever. Same thing when I clear. Nope. Okay, so if I clear, and is that both clears? Yes. So regular clear and, oops, I did that backwards, point. And then full clear. 0.25. Full clear it does not. Regular clear it does. Okay, so I think what I would like to do then is to make sure that when the decimal point gets pushed, we mark it as input dirty. And that should fix it. But first we need to create a failing test for this. And the failing test will be, we put in a number plus, and then we only push decimal and then another number. I'm trying really hard. So this is my first honest attempt at doing TDD. And I would really, really, really like to get in this habit for everything that I do. And then the answer that it gives us, or the output that it gives us, should be 1 plus 0.1236 equals space. All right, let's run this one. Come on, error. Three not run. Okay, there we go. So we can see that the one that failed is the very last one, and that is because instead of getting 0.1236, we get 1236. Good, good. Failing test, let's fix that. And we are running, okay. Awesome pickles. I don't know why I was trying to go to the sources tab up there. So like I said, I think the fix is to have the decimal point change input dirty to true. But I want to follow the same check as this. Yeah, I think we'll just do it that way. Should be an easy copy pasta. And maybe what we can do is turn this into a method that's just check dirty. But check dirty would only do this first part, and then this would be the second part. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem super worth it to me yet, but we'll find out. Okay, so I push completely clear. It does work. I push an operator, and now I'm pushing a decimal, and there we go. Okay, so we tested it there. And now what about our actual test? Red. Because what? Did I not actually tell it to push equal in the test? I didn't tell it to push the equal sign. My bad. And actually, you know what? That's fine. We don't need it to push equals. The only thing that we care about is our displayed number shows up as 0 point, whatever we type. So try that again. We aren't testing to make sure that it sums correctly. And there we go. All passing tests. Fantastic. I saw this once before, and I was like, I really, really like this. This thing here, though, this is from Peter. You might know him as Live Coding, but he created a whole bunch, or just one test essentially for us, or maybe two. I don't remember if he only did the ads, the basic ad. Oh, he did starts at 0 at least. So he created these initially, and I think the way he did it was he repeated essentially the same arrange, act, assert stuff. And then he's like, these all look the same. So I'm just going to make one method that does all of the arrange, act, assert stuff. And each of these actual tests are just going to call that one method. So there's really only one test, which is the input that we provide gives us the right output. But here we get to test all of the actual key presses and button presses, and it was so smart. It was so cool, and I think it's a great approach for doing tests. This is anyway. With that, no, we're not done yet. Dang it. We fixed the fixed decimal, not persisting. And if you need more details, you'll go into the commit, you'll see what files were changed. That's the other thing I'm trying hard to get better at, which is writing commit messages that show just enough information to know what this commit did, what types of things this thing touched, but not so much that I pretty much spell out everything that I did as far as code changes. Okay, how to write the test for this behavior that we want to fix. 5 plus 2 equals, and then press more numbers. So, first of all, what is this called? Just to make sure that after submitting a calculation, oh, is this actually it? This is exactly what I wanted to type. Thank you, Copilot. Oh. Yes. That's enough. Can you just write the method now? Because I don't want to come up with a name. Holy cow. Okay, I think the name I would have come up with might have been a little bit shorter than this, but anyway, yes. So this is saying when we hit the submit button and then we push a new button, what's supposed to happen? And actually, I don't even want the what is this called? Another operator to be pressed afterwards, which means that this is going to be blank. I do like this where we test another operation after, because I don't like that it actually adds up to 3. So we'll do something like this. We'll do 5 plus 2 equal sign, which would give us 7. And then when we press 3, it completely forgets the history. Yes, 5 plus 2. It completely forgets the history and treats this as the only thing that we are tracking. And we also just want to do that one last case where if we press another button. Actually, you know what? What is supposed to happen? That's a good idea. Dang it. All right, so this is the case. There. You know what? Let's just keep it all. Let's keep it all, shall we? What's the worst that can happen? It takes a little bit longer to run the tests because it has 2 extra cases that it might not even need. Yeah, so as soon as we press another operator, we're supposed to get 0 here. All right, so here we go. Run the test, get a failures. All of them should fail. And actually, that's another one that I was kind of expecting to be slightly different. We should see 73, right? 5 plus 2 equals, and then we do 3 plus. Oh, that's even weirder than I was expecting. So, yeah. Interesting. I mean, it's still a failed test, and we need to fix it. And hello, Napalm. Napalm has a random thought of the day. Am I the only one who gets bothered at how expensive programming books are? Yes, because you're the only one that buys programming books. Everyone else gets their stuff off the internet. Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There are people that actually do buy books. And the fact they rarely seem to go on sale. I just don't see the like, there are some things that maybe stick through the years, like architectural patterns. That'd be a good book to buy, sure, because it doesn't change too often. Design patterns, which is kind of like architecture but different. But like actual books about programming languages, those I find hard to actually think are worth buying. Like I guess I don't know if I still do, but I think I still have my database design O'Reilly book. Actually, who was that? That wasn't O'Reilly. That was this one. That was this one. Who are you? Sober Shots. Right. Sober Shots course, Korth, and Sudarshan. Which, you know, I mean, database design itself hasn't changed much. Other than we have more memory and faster disks because we use solid states for our databases now. There are some really good design books I would love to have. I would love to have one from like a decade ago, but it's still like $80. Jeez. Besides, I need books for my shelves behind me when I do virtual meetings. I have my guitars that I haven't touched in 2 years, maybe a year. But I have those back there. Actually, you know what? Let me show that. But soon, I don't know what soon is. Don't mean to curse in front of all of you. Sorry for those of you that have weak continence. Continence? Continence. What is this? I don't know what that is. I distracted myself. Go to XSplit. So algorithms, yeah. Again, algorithms don't change very often. There are times when they come up with better techniques that no one else has thought of, but that's rare. That is a lot of books you want us to look at. But thank you for posting them. You have one in your Amazon list since the 2017. I'm trying to get to XSplit. There. Okay. So that doesn't need to be there. Work phone, personal phone, Sagetti, whatever this thing is supposed to be. Bob, which you can't really see, but he's there. Puzzle. Guitars I haven't touched for a while. One day, I will get better at it. I'll get better at it. I just need to invest time in that too. And drawing. And anyway, and rant. But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you would think that over time, a book would decrease in value as less people buy it. But no. Apparently, programming books, especially those about algorithms or structural patterns or design patterns or other things that don't change very often, don't depreciate. I get you, and I agree. That's crazy. All right. So who knows the answer to this one? Since you're all answering my issues as it is. What I think needs to happen is after we push the equal sign, I need to mark the input as clean, even though it has a number. And I believe that is all that we need in order to fix this issue. So on submit, I'm going to set input dirty equals true, false, because we're setting it as clean. All right, let's see what happens. Did you apply? You applied, supposedly. 5 plus 2 equals 45. No, didn't work. So what I'm expecting to happen is we're going to hit this. Oh, we're going to need it there too. Nobody tell anyone that I'm mixing fixes. That's gonna be bad. Never mind, dude. You're good. We're not gonna touch that. I'll have to think about how to do that. If you start off and you push the negate button, it's not going to work unless you have a non-zero value. There is a such thing as -0, but I think I'm just going to leave that as expected behavior. You have to have a non-zero value in order to be able to negate it. I'm okay with this. But I don't know if it was just that the actual code changes didn't apply or that my fix isn't the correct way to do this. Did you do something to tweak your system UI font? What do you mean? Is it crisp or is it crappy? I believe it's good. I believe it's still using whatever the default is, which is Sego UI 9 point, I believe. Let's. Font settings. You know what? We have a WPF app, and that thing will be able to tell us. But just in case. I actually don't know how to pronounce this. I pronounce it Sego. It could be Segway. It could be something else completely. But I'm pretty sure that it's in the registry to change your default font or something. I don't remember. But I think the way that we can tell is inside of our WPF application. Let's use main window. In the constructor, we can do something like debug right line current font is system dot. It's something to do with static. Oh, come on, brain. I just used this 2 weeks ago. Parameters. System parameters dot font caption. Gosh, I don't remember. Hey Copilot, do you know what is the how do I get the current system font in WPF? System fonts. Caption font. Okay, caption font family. Are you an object type? So give me your name. Apparently it gets multiple names. Dot first. Jeez. Okay. Estapu. And go. Can't believe I couldn't remember that. Current font, English US, Sego UI. So yeah, I'm just using the default Windows 11 font. Although in Visual Studio, I am using the, I haven't gone to this forever, but they have a specific font that is meant to be readable, and it's this Cascadia font. Is it? That doesn't seem right. I guess it is. Oh yeah, okay, and that's what I'm confused by. So they have this Cascadia Mono font, and that's intended to improve readability, but Cascadia code is exactly the same, except it uses glyphs. And I'm not the biggest fan of glyphs, but I don't know, some people like them. And then the other thing that I did was I zoomed in so that those of you watching at home can see the code a little bit at least. But anyway, that is to say, hello, Kiss Killer. Or is it Key Skiller? Or anyway, hi. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We are in the middle of doing some TDD to fix some issues with our calculator that I had not written tests for before, but I am now. And the thing that we are currently experiencing is when we push the submit button, I got very sensitive to fonts and typography lately. I think it's just time I got glasses. It's also something that we should always consider as developers, as anyone that does UI that someone else is going to interact with. Are we making our font, our typography, easy to read and understand? So not just the character set, not just the typeface, but also the glyphs that we use, the icons and everything else. But there's so much that we like. I consider myself a full stack developer because I can do all of the stack. I can do all of the backend stuff. I can do all of what I call the middle tier stuff, but a lot of people still call that backend. And I can do the front end stuff. I prefer working in the middle tier, which is all of the functionality for the code. Not necessarily the back end, which is setting up databases and structuring them and getting everything hooked up. But APIs, still love doing those because most of it is functionality as well. But I'm not too fond of doing front end as much unless someone else does the design, in which case it's more like, hey, I just need to get code to look like this. I didn't need to design it myself. Someone else came up with this amazing design. And that's what I care about. That's some fun stuff. Very fun stuff. Anyway, point is, don't really consider everything that there is to it, because not only are you thinking about typography, how much white space to have, animations, making sure that you are able to code for both people that want the low reduced motion setting or turn animations off because of whatever the condition is, where if there's a lot of motion, it's just not good for you. As well as other accessibility concerns like sight blindedness, color blindness, or just reduced or no sight at all, or no audio even for websites, because if your website does audio, you want to make sure that you have something that people without hearing can still experience your site, have an equal or as good experience. So many things to keep in consideration. So Kisskiller says, so to you, the whole MVC is front end plus middle, no back end? Not necessarily. So all of the entity, since I use Entity Framework, all of the Entity Framework stuff I would still consider part of the backend, because that has to do with configuring your database and modeling your database. So, I mean, again, my middle tier still counts as backend. So I guess if you're not using, yeah, it's really difficult. I don't even remember where I heard the term middle tier, but I really just associated middle tier with writing the core functionality of an app. And then backend is more specific to setting up the, not only the infrastructure, but the project structure and things that are more administrative, I guess, in nature. I mean, they're still technical, but they're more administrative. And President Not Sure says, as opposed to ear blindedness. Correct. Sight blindedness versus ear blindedness. Can you shock people from a website? Asking for a friend. Yes, you can. All you need is a... Anyway, I won't get into that. But yes, you can. And it also can mean the literal shock and figurative shock. Yeah, business logic or the web app layer, stuff like that. So I guess I would count that as, as an epilepsy, probably. I guess now's as good a time as any. So I've been playing around with trying to get a, I'm still kind of hesitant to show this on my stream. I shared it on Irish John's stream and on Big Gamey's, but Big Gamey didn't see it. And that's okay. But I'm working on the placeholder site for automatedrealms.com, which is my company. And so it looks like this currently. And I made it to where it's just this little placeholder. We're still in construction. But if you wait around long enough, then you'll see evidence that stuff is actually going to happen. For example, has it been 30 seconds yet? A little particle just appears. It's nothing special. It's just a little particle. But the cool thing is, this is all SVG, CSS, and JavaScript, and Blazor. Like, I really wanted to do this with purely Blazor, but whenever I added a particle to my list of particles, and then I told it to add that particle to my, this was a separate component called a particles container. Was it that one? Not that one. This one. Nope. This one. Okay, so this is, so one of these is my particles container. Oh, right, I have two. I forgot that I now have a particles front and particles back. There we go. Okay, so every time that it would get a new particle and it would re-render, some of the particles stopped animating. Comic book page layout is very similar to web page design. True art form. Yeah, it can be. But I really, really, really wanted to do this purely in Blazor. I failed at it. Failed at it horribly. So right now I'm using an SVG, and then I'm just using JavaScript to add particles or remove the particles even. And you can see that some of them start in front, some of them start in back, and then they move towards the center. And it kind of feels like it's going in 3D space. But now I just learned about perspective in CSS. So I think I'm going to do that instead of the JavaScript approach. And I'm just going to have a CSS animation for all of these. That's supposed to last a certain amount of time. But yeah, the next steps for this is if you get enough particles going, then it's going to actually start opening a portal, and you're going to see something specific to automated realms inside of that portal. I won't tell you what. And then there's going to be other animation effects for it. So if you have enough space down here, then of course the actual device thing, or whatever this is just my logo, but whatever this ends up being is going to cause something to happen down here, whether it's just a beam that actually opens a portal down here or spawns something or whatever. And for those of you with mixed reality devices, it's also going to be a mixed reality site as well, eventually, because that's what I want to get into. So you go into this, you tap on the logo, and suddenly you're in the mixed reality experience and doing crazy stuff with that. So maybe that's something we can try out in the future after we're done with the financial management tracker, or we can go to something else completely. We'll see. But that's where I'm at so far. Thank you. I'm also afraid because I don't know how much this costs. Like, I just started hosting it, and I guess we're gonna have to monitor the costs, as now I have shown it and it's gonna be posted to YouTube, and yeah, so who knows. But it's a very simple site, very small. Yeah, I hope I don't regret that. That's all. Anyway, hello, I'm Valorant, or M Valorant, however you would like me to pronounce it. I will pronounce it that way. Hey, what happened? No, finite. Finite, no. Ooh, and thank you both so much for the follows. Thank you. Next up, no, next up is not profit. That's one of the things that I would absolutely love to do. I want to have a lot of free content on there. That would be one of the main things. So here's a Blazor component library. That's also another place that I would like to go next with our stream, is to make this Blazor component library an official Blazor component library that has all of these highly customizable components. So right now, I mean, it's gotten so much better since I started. You can always ask questions. It's gotten a lot better since I initially created this component library. Words. The component library scene has gotten a lot better since 2018, 2019. And that was about the time that I started this component library. And it was all private, of course, so I moved it to my public GitHub so that it can be available for improvement, for use. But I actually want to turn this into a robust, usable component library that has some cool stuff in it. One of the things that I'm really, really proud of with this library github.io, right? Blazor component library is the drag and drop component that has a lot of features currently. You can edit items. So all of these drag and drop elements, never mind the brokenness. All of these drag and drop elements are full objects that have content and anything that you can do to edit. They have an edit form if you want to have an edit form on them. I don't know why submit is being weird. Submit and delete. But I also made it to where you can nest draggable items into, like, for example, a SQL builder. That was a lot of fun. Drag and droppy. Anyway, so that's drag and drop. So anyway, making that amazing would be a really fun stream project. Okay, so Kisskiller's question. No, wait. I'm Valorant's question. Actually, Kisskiller had a question just before Valorant. I'm good at reading. Also, as someone who uses primarily C#, would you using an enterprise language with serious object-oriented and static typing is helpful? Would you say using an enterprise language with serious object-oriented programming and static typing is helpful? I believe, like, the reason that I'm sticking with .NET is because it is robust, it is maintainable. I mean, it also has the dangers of you writing code that is not maintainable, not easily maintainable, but I think that type-safe languages, strongly typed languages, are more maintainable, but that's because that's what I have the most experience with. I'm sure I would be saying the same thing if I started off using JavaScript and stuck with it this whole time. And also didn't learn TypeScript. All right, so I'm Valorant says, I'm learning Java. When I try to solve online coding challenges, I can't literally understand which function to apply. I don't come up with a solution. I practice a lot in IDE, but when I saw the easy questions on HackerRank, for example, I'm unable to understand. I think that sounds like maybe the place that you're wanting to go to is just learning the foundations of object-oriented programming, because a lot of the questions that they ask there are for you to think critically about using your knowledge to solve these solutions in an elegant, or maybe not even elegant, just something that is a cool way to solve it. Here's an easier way to use, instead of maybe an array, a dictionary that acts kind of like an array or a hash map in Java. Hash set. Hash map. So I would say don't start off with coding challenges, or if coding challenges aren't making sense to you yet, that just sounds like maybe it's better for you to go back to learning the rudiments. The rudiments of programming. Like, mine just happened because I picked up VB, and it was VB6 at the time, back in 18. Actually, it was QBasic first, and then I went to VB6 eventually, and that got me used to doing event-driven programming, which still had object-oriented programming stuff in it, where you get an instance of an object, you can dot on it and see all of its members, including methods and properties and public fields. Don't use public fields. I'm preparing for a job interview refresher. Interesting. I would still, yeah, I don't know. It just sounds like you don't have a handle on the God, I'm struggling to find words because I'm not trying to say that you aren't good enough. Because you are. I mean, you are already going after it, which is the only thing that it really takes, in my opinion. Do you have a desire to do it? But yeah, getting used to the basics and getting those down. So, how do you create a new Java program from scratch? I don't know myself. Back in my day, it was you create a new file that had the .java extension and you had public static void main string args. I don't know if that's still the case, but go from that to knowing how to declare variables, to knowing how to use or create methods, to knowing how to instantiate objects and call those variable or methods, and assign variables and do flow control, so loops and if statements, return, switch, data structures, so how to use lists or arrays or array lists or whatever else you have in Java. And just, yeah, practice that. Create applications using your knowledge base. And I mean that. Like, instead of going directly to code challenges next from there, try to create an application with the knowledge that you have. Thank you, Irish John. Java is object-oriented only. C# allows you to write code directly. Java requires a class. I'm not 100% sure what you're saying, but C# and Java are very, very similar in that you do need objects still. So even though I'm declaring a variable as like one of these primitives, that's still an object in C#. And that has to be done inside of a class. Same with program.cs. Even though it doesn't look like it's inside of a class, it is. It is. You'll find one. Program.cs. So you don't see anything around this thing that says public class program or anything like that. And then a method, public static void main string args. You don't see any of this stuff, but it's there. It's implicitly there. I don't know why they got rid of it. I mean, it's still easy enough for me because we don't ever really need to write these ourselves. We just need to add stuff to it. But it's also confusing for people that are like, I thought you're supposed to use a class for everything. A class and method. One class per file. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, but again, I have not been keeping up with Java to know if they've added features like this, where you're allowed to declare multiple classes in the same file, for example, like you're talking about you can't do. It's often used for functional programming too. I miss main, but at the same time, I don't miss main. You know what I didn't miss? When they got rid of using startup.cs. That was really nice. I mean, I think they both happened at the same time, or at least around the same time. But having everything in program.cs, I'm okay with this. All right, I wanted to read the rest of your statement though. So up here, your original statement, Kiss Killer, was, as someone who uses primarily C#, nope, wrong one, lower. Java is object-oriented only. C# allows you to write code directly. Java requires a class. It requires the class to be named the same as the file, also one class per file. So main string args is just a static function. And then I'm Valorant said, my mates are telling me to adapt pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is a good skill to have when you're doing programming, especially if you are going into a company that has an existing application and you are trying to do bug fixes or add functionality to it or improve the way that the code is working. Because what you will most likely find is that you have opinions on how code should be written, but your team that you are now a member of has a different opinion on how it should be written, and usually that's in the form of a design document or programming specifications. Like how do we format our code? How do we declare variables? Do we use the underscore camel case for private fields? Do we use all caps snake case for const? When we do if statements with only one branch, do we get rid of the curly braces? Do we not include curly braces? Do we include curly braces all the time? Will we ever use one line curly braces? Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Coding standards, thank you. Lots of stuff that require pattern matching. And if they don't have design documents or coding standards, coding guidelines, that's the other word, coding guidelines, then you just kind of have to see the code and match their patterns, especially if they don't have an editor config either. Where was I? So yes, good idea to adopt pattern recognition skills. Don't rely only on them. Still have your own opinions and be able to back up why your opinions are a good approach as well. I encourage you to have opinions as a developer, by the way, especially on this channel. So if you don't know, on Fridays we have Community Day, and that's where you can voice your opinion, like literally use your voice to opinionate programming type stuff. And I just open up our Discord and then I invite you into a voice channel where you can talk about whatever programming topics you want to talk about, or software or stuff that you're working on. All right, so C# allows them to be implicit. Frosty Robot was responding to Kiss Killer saying Java isn't object-oriented though. Isn't just object-oriented though. Even though Java forces the use of single file classes, it is often used for functional programming. That's interesting because I also thought that the functional programming paradigm, is that the right word for that one, was very different in structure than object-oriented programming, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe functional programming is just an application of how you write code. I don't know that for sure. Dugasov said, though, I miss main, but at the same time, I don't miss main. President Not Sure said, C# tended to be closer to its C++ roots than Java, yes, at least in the early days. And now we're getting closer to JavaScript, surprisingly. Like JavaScript, F#, and one other thing that I was about to say that I completely lost. Dugasov said, I can never remember how to move the services to another file. There are many ways to do it. Speaking of many ways to do it, that brings up another thing that I'm excited about. I'm trying to hold off on these until Friday in case we don't have any topics, and I do plan on being here on Friday. I apologize again for last Friday suddenly just disappearing. But static, being able to, or not static, extensions, being able to extend classes by adding properties, by adding methods, and then being able to do static extensions on classes. So instead of just having, public static this keyword in the method, you can actually make a static method so that you can do the type that I'm extending dot new static method. Anyway, we'll go over that some more in detail. But like that talk was really exciting. Let me see if I can find it while I read through chat some more. So Coleslaw said, I am working on my one-line quest, modifying the UI and researching what a proof of concept page is like. That's chili. Blah, there's chili and cornbread on the back table if you want some. I do. I love me some cornbread. This is the video. Yes. Share. I strongly recommend watching this video. It is exciting to hear what might be. I mean, don't get your hopes up too much, but what might be coming up in C# 12. There's a lot of stuff that sounds like it will come out in C# 12, but then some stuff that's like, well, this may or may not be in there. So for example, whatever this kind of declaring your class so that you can have your constructor up here and then have these all be private fields inside of the entire class. The same way that you can currently do with records. But my favorite were these extensions to be able to extend properties, extend methods. It's crazy, this stuff here. I'm really, really excited about this. Okay. Frosty Raw says, wise words. Also, the social makeup of the team can be a huge factor. Absolutely. True functional paradigm is indeed different. We confuse procedural for functional. Functional, yes. Functional programming doesn't want you to mess with the original data and limit the global variables. Object-oriented, you can do what you want, I guess. And hello, good VJ. How are you doing? I almost said it the Australian way. How are you going? I caught up in chat. I can't believe I caught up in chat. So we were working on fixing this issue. Actually, we're working on writing a test for this issue. First, oh, we did write the test. I want to rename this thing. This is the name that Copilot came up with for this test. Entering a number after submitting a calculation replaces the previous result. Input clears after submit and inputting new number. I don't know. Oh no. There is one more test case that I wanted to come up with. And that test case is if we do 5 + 2 = 3, or equals, and then we do decimal, then we should get 0 point as our displayed value. And then nothing as our format or formula display. What's more than your readmes? Did you type that in the wrong chat? Good VJ said, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing fantastic today. So I do not have a headache today, which is amazing. Oh, it's longer than your read. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's see these tests fail. Excuse me, why can't I run this? Probably because it didn't build. Ooh, I just realized how much talking that was. I stopped talking. Got kind of quiet. Oh, all right. So this is definitely the behavior that we were trying to fix. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. The way that I tried to fix this already, I believe, is after pressing submit, if we press submit, we set input dirty equal to false, which means that the next time we push a number or a decimal or whatever, we're going to follow this if not input dirty. And then handle clear, which would set us to 0. Then toggle the decimal on in the case of pushing the decimal point, which is here. Or replace the current input number with whatever we just typed. So why isn't that actually doing a thing? That seems like it should be the fix for this. If not. Oh, charged. Five plus 2 equals 3. All right, why not? We're doing this if input is not dirty. And we have push submit. Are we somehow resetting input dirty to true somewhere down here? No, we aren't. How about if I do it here then? Because it's possible input dirty is getting set when we're updating display num or any of those other places. So if operator was submit, then we'll set input dirty equal false. Did you apply? You did, supposedly. 5 plus 3 equals 5 plus... No! Okay. Current value needs to be updated as well if input... All right, what's the logic for that? Real quick, we should see some of our tests pass, but not all of them. So what is the logic for making sure that our current value updates if we submitted and input was dirty? This is where we might actually want that other method for check dirty. Let's do that. Oh yeah. Wait, at least one of our tests should have passed. Five plus 2 equals... Check dirty? Are you sure about that name? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? In fact, I'm so sure about it that we are just going to do it. Helpers. What's in here? Right, the regex. Private. Bool. Check dirty. I can't do check dirty because, again, that is a name that is not expecting a mutation to happen. What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. Yes. I'm glad it was numbers based too. That's funny. You got that thing trained good. So check dirty clear. Clear if dirty. Clear if dirty. That's still a verb. And it will only clear if dirty. Disco says, oh shat. Oh, why do you have ads? Has it already been that long? Oh. Maybe I should consider doing another 3-minute ad. Not ads. No ads. Fantastic. Okay. Why would I return the value of input dirty? From this. Because if input dirty's value changes, from whatever I'm doing here, wait, what are you saying, Disco? Are you just singing a song? Oh shat, ads, not ads, no ads. I have ads, cool. You have ads, super cool. I don't know how to turn that into a rhythm. This is the rhythm of it. So if the last operator that was pressed was submit, then we want to do a full clear. If it was a you know, no, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. If it wasn't, then we'll do regular handle clear collect, right? All right. So do we nest an if or do we do it? I have an idea. Let's do it like this. Switch input dirty and prev up. And we'll do some pattern matching because we're working on our pattern matching skills. Nope, let's do it as, I guess, as a case. True. The only one that we care about is true operator submit. And then everything else. Oh, wait, nope, true anything else is handle clear clicked, and then default is do nothing. But why would I want to return the value of input dirty at the end of this? I don't know, the dirty smell. because we have access to the underscore is dirty, so we shouldn't need to check. All right, so instead of input dirty, whenever we have this, which should be only in 2 places, will be clear if dirty. And that will do the appropriate clear. And hopefully this is the one that will actually do the clearing of the thing. Oh, I love being able to use the keyboard. And why suddenly? Why is my sizing changing suddenly? Interesting. You're not supposed to change. No need to apologize, Disco. You have nothing to apologize for. Dang it. I'm just going to stop and restart because I'm having trouble trusting Hot Reload even in .NET Watch. I used to be so confident in it. Now it's like, is it actually working? I don't know. All right, here go our rep. 5 plus 2, enter number. Dang it. Why not? Console. Right line. I like using pipes instead of commas. You should know this by now, Copilot / telecode. Did that apply? That applied, supposedly. I don't know. Why did I do that? You're so weird sometimes. Oh no. Oh no. It's not going to let me put it over there because mouse without borders. Yeah. Go. Okay. There we go. 5 plus 3 equals 5. False submit. Right. Oh, duh. If not is dirty. How is it working for anything else? That was weird that it was actually working. 5 plus 3, enter 4. There we go. Plus 2. 7 plus 6 equals 8. Yes. Console. Anyway, I think we fixed it. All tests pass. All except for the ones where we stop at... Oh no, that one's wrong. Expected blank. We actually have 5 plus. All right, so we'll check these real quick. Figure out what's going on with them. No. Disco says mix public speaking with our dirty tech. Humans. You're not actually, I mean, they're sentences-ish, but they're not coherent sentences. I'm lacking context. All right, so I think this one is there's a space when there shouldn't be a space. This one should say 5 plus. And I'm doing that whole lagging thing again. Weirdness. All right. And was this the one that did some weird stuff to me? FCon 4. You got to run all of them though. I do want to see if these pass too. Thank you. All right, so the only one that I am doing incorrectly is that this should actually say 3 plus 4. Space equals. Okay, so it was just that I wrote the test wrong. And hello, Matt1567. Let's go indeed. Where are we going? So that's my fault for not knowing how to write or how to come up with the actual values in my head correctly. No, you have to run that one too. All of them, man. All of them. There we go. Do we still have all tests passing with the changes that I just made? You cool. You're cooler. You were actually in DCI. I wasn't. I'm a failure. No, I broke one of our tests. Pressing the consecutive operator. Me, Tarzan. I do stand-up comedy. Do you actually, though? You know, Captain Commerce used to be a comedian. Maybe still is. I don't know. I don't know if he's renounced that title. Do you have any videos that you want to share? Probably won't watch them on the stream, but I'll share them too. Okay, pressing the equal sign consecutively. No, pressing consecutive operators. 1 plus 2 equals times plus 4 should be 7, yeah. So that's definitely correct. Is it when I press an operator, it's also clearing? I only stand up. Maybe I should try comedy. I think you did. Matt says, I'm currently learning .NET from being a React developer. Hopefully I can learn a few things off you. Cool. You won't find too many differences as far as the conceptual structure of a Blazor app to a React app. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know that for sure because I don't have very much experience with React, but the concepts of having reusable components in separate files. So this is my entire calculator component, this thing here. This calculator has some parameters that we put on it, and you specify the values of those parameters, like show, for example, in the place that it's actually used. Where is this used? Index. Nope, not index. It's used in shared main layout, top bar. You specify or you use them the same way you would use any kind of web component, custom web element. which is you do angle bracket and then the name of the component itself, which is derived from the class name in C#. And then you can use two-way binding. You can use one-way binding if you didn't have the @bind dash. But that's how you pass the values between component and parent. Excuse me. And then these are C# objects. So this is a bool, this is bool, and then this is C# code as an attribute value. So kind of similar, I think. I'm a young you. I thought you had to use partial view for things like that, or is that just for MVC? That is, well, kinda yes, because you can now use Blazor and MVC as well. But Blazor is essentially the SPA framework for .NET, which means that all of this, the draggable functionality, the calculator functionality, this is all running in the browser. There are no trips back to the server to say, I clicked a button, do some kind of post back to update the UI, render the UI, send me back what the new page should look like. That's typical MVC or Razor Pages or ASP.NET web pages stuff. But here, my entire network traffic is similar to what you would see in React, I believe, where there are no network requests happening on button clicks, on submits, nothing that I'm not purposefully saying go to an API to get some information or post some information or do anything with. The difference is that instead of using JavaScript, this the application itself gets turned into .NET DLL, and that DLL gets turned, oh, I don't know how to do this in, wait, I'm in Chrome. Why does this look so weird to me? Because I'm in sources, not network. Application is where I'm meant to be, that's why. So what you will see is that the application is using C# DLLs somewhere. I can never remember. Why can't I remember this? Okay, so here. These are DLLs. And these are actual .NET DLLs. So what happened is when we came to this page for the first time, we downloaded the .NET runtime that has been compiled to WebAssembly and ran that .NET runtime. And now we're running our application through that .NET runtime. So we're really running a native C# application in the browser through .NET. And that's why I'm able to write C# code in the HTML syntax up here and code behind C# code, as well as being able to continue to use JavaScript, CSS, all of your normal browser technologies. Now there is a version of this that you can run where it renders fully on the server. So let's say that I did do a click and I'm updating the display up here based off of that button click. Then actually, you know what? Can I show it? I might be able to show it because I have that application type. Server only. I think this one has issues because of my dependency injection setup, but we'll try it. As long as we don't go to the main application page. Forgot to do that. Hold on, I promise. It's there. Blazor WebAssembly for MCS, add JavaScript modules. Oh, that should be in client services. That's why. I was supposed to do this in just one place. All right, there we go. Better. That, no, I don't have a reference to it. Dang it. That's what it was. Anyway, we'll do this this way for now, I guess. Server. Why not? Why don't you have a reference to that project? I would like to stop the application. Please and thank you. Yeah, that should be part of Blazor UI. Add state management. Gimme. This was supposed to be an easy, quick, take a look at how cool this is. And of course I break everything. Dig and dig and dig and diggity dig. Yeah, Blazor shared components, which is referenced in Blazor UI, and Blazor UI is referenced in Blazor server. But just in case, we will reference the Blazor component library directly in there. Ignore that capital I. I don't know why it doesn't go away. I've renamed it so many times already. Server only. Where did you go? Here you are. What are the chances it's just that I... Oh, man. Huh? Using. Are you okay now? It's okay now. I don't know what that was. That was really weird. I don't know why it didn't let me use IntelliSense to add that. It's chess in a few moves ahead of you. All right, anyway, so we should be able to run it now as server, which is what I was trying to get to, so that I could show. And thank you so much for the follow, Matt. In that WebAssembly version, you saw that I didn't have any network traffic, but here, when I do stuff, well, first of all, it loaded my JS interrupt, but the difference that you will see is on the open circuit, which you get to by clicking on one of these. WASM? No? I don't know how to do this. I saw Dan do this so many times in all of his demos, and he's just like, you go over here and you look at the network traffic, and you can see the actual circuit requests that are happening. All right. Well, there you go. I have no idea how to show this to you, but what is actually happening in Blazor server. Oh, it's no worries. I mean, we do a lot of talking on this stream, a lot less coding. What happens in Blazor server version is you make the request. It sends the UI update message to the server. The server renders what the page should now look like, sends that back as a response on this socket connection. And then Blazor takes over from there and says, all right, what's the difference between what I'm supposed to look like and what I currently look like, so that I can apply changes only to that part of the DOM that needs to be updated. So if we keep watching here, the only thing that we're going to see get updated is the one part of the DOM that's being affected by whatever change we're doing. As I'm dragging around, it's only the style tag, or the style attribute on those two tags. But the issue, did I just end up not running server only? Is that what happened? Did I somehow run WASM? No, I'm running server only. That's crazy. At least according to this, I'm running server only. Anyway, we expected to see some actual network traffic happen. All of the UI stuff is handled on the server, which is why it's choppier than it is in the WebAssembly version that runs completely in the browser. That's all I was trying to get to. Dagnabbit. So okay, we did fix the bug that we were doing the test for. However, we introduced a new bug that needs to be fixed, and we saw that because our tests started failing since we were using TDD. We get to see that immediately instead of, you know, deploying this fix for this one thing in this other area, and then suddenly we have a bug in another one that was working just fine. So this was what? Fixed, clear after submit. I'm going to push this to the server. So if you're interested in seeing the full project, we have it on GitHub. It is public and open source, so feel free to poke through it, provide any comments you feel like. And we're currently in a branch called 32 Add Built-in Calculator. We are almost done with this. As soon as we can get this last bug completed that we just reintroduced, which is when you press the equal sign, or when you press different operators consecutively. So if I push 5 plus times minus 5 equals plus times minus 6 equals, wait, it's working. How is the test failing? Anyway, we'll figure that out next time. But supposedly we are actually working. Wait, 1 plus 2 times plus 4. 1 plus 2 times plus 4 equals, which gives us 7 plus minus. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So maybe this is what we are expecting. Anyway, so that's what we get. We're at the end of the stream for today. Thank you all for being here. You have been amazing people, wonderful, amazing people. You know who we're gonna raid today. He was on yesterday because he missed Monday, but yeah, I still want to go over to him. Bit gamey, amazing person, really fantastic to hang out with, to be around. I love his energy, I love his face, and his stream content is top notch. So last I saw, he was working on updating his actual stream overlay, and just overall look and feel for his stream. Raid. There we go. You do not have to apologize, Disco, I promise. Everything you do is worth it. But I will be back on Friday with Community Day, as I mentioned before. So Community Day is when I invite you to hop into a Discord voice channel, and you can use your beautiful voice to converse with me directly, converse with the stream, have whatever conversation we want regarding .NET. What do you call a nervous javelin thrower? Shakespeare. I get it, I think. But yeah. And then what else? Oh, I will be posting the recording of this video to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream, thanks to affiliate stuff. If you don't want to wait until then, you can always watch the VOD here on Twitch. But it'll be available immediately after the stream. But you can also feel free to join our Discord, which Dukasoft already posted. Great, now you have it 6 times. All right, I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Until the next time.